Hi guys, today we're looking at multiplication using a calculator. Your learning intention is to know the basics of a calculator and how to use a calculator to undertake multiplication. Your success criteria is that you can use a calculator to undertake multiplication. So let's get started. Firstly, let's have a look at some of the different types of calculators. Now there's lots of different types of calculators out there and they all look slightly different, but they all do the same thing. They all have the numbers 0 through 9 on them. They all have a plus, a takeaway, a division and a multiplication button, and they all have an equals button. Today, girls and boys, I'm using an online calculator. I've just looked up online calculator, and this is one that you could use at home if you don't have access to a calculator, an iPhone or something like that. Now, as you can see on this calculator, we've got the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we've got our 9 number buttons. We've got this very important button at the top. See the C button? That's our clear button. Now, if we want to clear something that we've put into our calculator, we push the clear button. See, now I've cleared that off. Along the bottom, next to the 0, we've got our decimal point button, a plus and minus button that we'll get back to. We've got our plus and our equals. Now, if we work up from our plus, we've got our plus, we've got our takeaway, we've got our multiply, and our divide. On this side, we have an equals button. We have our fractions, our percentage, and our square root button. Again, this red one up here is our clear or button. So, to use our calculator, we put the numbers in that we need. Now, it's really important that we know the order of the numbers that we're going to put in. So if we're going to do a plus, we might put 3 plus 6. Then we hit our equals button. So 3 plus 6 equals 9, and that's really important. We know that 3 plus 6 equals 9. But what if we were going to do 6 take away 3? Well, you would all say to me, Mr. Jukes, I know 6 take away 3 equals 3. So let's check that. And it is, it's 3. So let's clear that. But it's important. What if we did 3 take away 6? Because 3 take away 6 isn't the same as 6 take away 3. So let's have a look at the answer it gives. Oh, it's given us a negative number. So we need to make sure that we're putting them in the right order. If we were going to do 3 times 6 equals, we get 18. What if we were to clear that and we did 6 times 3? What do we get? 18. That's right, because remember, multiplication, it doesn't matter what order you put it in. You can do 3 times 6 or 6 times 3, and it doesn't matter. But if we were going to do a division, we would have to put it in order, because we could do 9 divided by 3, and that would equal 3. But if we did 3 divided by 9, we'd end up with a decimal number. So we need to make sure that we put them in the right order. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some algorithms using the times and the divide. What's really important to remember, girls and boys, is if you're doing an equation in the calculator, the first thing you just saw me do it, is to clear. Always clear the calculator before you start. Someone might have been using the calculator before you, or you might have been using it, and they might have left an equation half finished. So they might have put 6 minus and just left it there, and you might pick it up and think, that's okay, I'll just do 9 times 2. Well, we all know 9 times 2 isn't negative 12. So it's made a mistake. So we need to make sure that we always clear our calculator before we start. Now, what else is important is when we do our equation, if we do 2 times 3, yell it at the screen, 6, that's right. We push equals, it gives us a 6. Now, if we were to push equals again, that's interesting. The number's gone up. What happens if we push equals again? Oh, it's gone up again. And again. But that's not the answer we want. So what we need to remember, girls and boys, is when we're doing our multiplication, so 3 times 6, we push equals, but we only push it once. If we push it again, it's going to go up. Push it again, it's going to go up. You might put it in there and go 3 times 6, Mr. Jukes, is 648, and we're going to be a little bit confused as to how you got to that answer. So we need to clear. We need to put in 6 times 3, push equals once, to give you 18. All right, we're going to start working on our questions. So I want you to find a calculator and I want you to work with me. So using our calculator today, we're going to do 455 times 2 and 9,812 times 53. So let's start with 455 times 2. Let's get our calculator back up again. So 455 is our first number. We're going to go to the multiply or times button and then 2. Now then we're going to push equals, but we're only going to push it once. So our answer to that is 910. Let's try this next one. 9,812 times 53. 9,812 is our first number. Multiply button, 53. Equals. Oof, that's a big number, isn't it? But we've only clicked once, so we need to check it. So we've got 520,036. Now, let's clear our calculator and let's try again to make sure that we've got the right number. And that's the same number, 520,036. So using our calculator, girls and boys, we need to make sure that we always clear our calculator. Pushing that red button might be a bit different, might just be a C button for you or a CE button at home. So we always clear our calculator before we start. We need to make sure that we only click the equal button once. If you do that more than once, it's going to come out with a different answer and it's not going to be right. Today, you were doing multiplication using a calculator. Your learning intention was to know the basics of a calculator and how to use a calculator to undertake multiplication. Your success criteria was to use a calculator to undertake multiplication. Now, if you can go onto Seesaw and record yourself using a calculator at home, or show us how you've done it at home, you can then prove to us that you've met that success criteria, that you can use a calculator to undertake multiplication. Remember, girls and boys, always clear your calculator when you start and only hit equals once. If you do that, I'm sure you'll reach your success criteria. Have a great day. Bye for now.